Hello everyone. What I'm going to show you today is some simple tests that you can use on your razors to determine whether or not they're dull or not, and whether you may need to bring them back to the hones for a little more work. First thing, the most obvious best test you can use is the shave test. So if the shave is comfortable, your razor is good enough. The only problem is it's usually a little inconvenient to try and do a shave test all the time, and hair only grows back so fast, so you can't do it all the time. If you've honed before, you've probably heard of some of the standard tests: the hanging hair test, the thumbnail test, the treetop skimming test, or whatever you might want to call that one, and I don't know, other tests where you like kind of pluck the blade with your thumb. But the problem with most of those, for the exception of the hanging hair test, is they generally require some degree of experience with them, and so you have a feel and you know what you're looking for. The tests I'm going to show you here today are a little more quantitative. They should give you nice black and white answers and should be easy to perform. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is look for blunting, and to do that you're going to need a nice bright light. I have one right here. It's like less than a foot away from the camera. So first thing you're going to do is open your razor. This razor in particular has quite a bit of blunting, so it'll be an excellent example. And you're going to take the razor and look straight down at the edge. And blunting is basically flat spots in the edge where something might have hit the blade and caused it to flatten out. So when we look at the edge, the light source should reflect back any flat spots. If there's a nice sharp edge, it wouldn't really reflect any light we could see back. But there you can see, got flat spots in the edge, and that is some quite horrible blunting. So that's just awful. So that's the easy way to see blunting. Just gonna use light for that. That's all you need. The next visual test is for a wire edge, and to do that, you're gonna open your razor and you're gonna move it around in the light. It's a little difficult to see, but open your razor, move it around the light, and at the very, very edge of the bevel, right along the edge, if there is a wire edge, you're eventually going to see a very bright white line right along the entire thing, or at least where the wire edge is. And this razor doesn't have one at all, so all you should see is a bevel. Now on this other very dull razor, it's not a clean wire edge, it's just blunting, but you'll see what I mean. You should be able to see that awful stuff along the very edge. Move it around the light here. So hopefully you pick it up. Okay, hopefully the camera got that. It's I'm looking at like an 1.5 inch screen here, so I can't really make it out. The next test for a wire edge involves another little tool, a pin. You're going to want a pin with a nice sharp edge, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your razor and you're just going to push the pin very, very, very lightly. You don't want to put any pressure on this towards the edge. And if there is a wire edge, the pin will catch, or you'll feel it catch and then break off. But here there's horrible blunting and wire edge, so it's obviously catching there. Over here, not as much, so it just kind of slides off. And you're going to want to be very careful when you do this, because it's metal on metal. So if the pin is harder steel than the razor, which it very well might be, they make them very hard, then it could easily scratch the steel of your razor, or you might accidentally bring it back in the edge and cause blunting that way. Here we go. Yeah, you can even hear it. It's so bad. Let's see if I can get a better view. Nice and close. There you go. And you're going to want to do it on the other side too, since a wire edge only really forms on one side. So here on this side, I can feel it right there. Focus. Now on the razor that is nice and sharp, the pin is just going to completely slide off. You're not going to feel anything. It's just going to move right off the edge of the blade. Just like that. And again, be careful. You don't want to like cause a metal on metal blunting. So extra light touch for that. Now the other test, the hanging hair test, I'm just going to do that for sake of thoroughness. That's probably the only standard test I know that's probably the most quantitative. And here I'm going to use a strand of my hair. My hair is quite thin, So I know that if a razor passes a hanging hair test with my hair, then it's more than likely sharp enough. When you do a hanging hair test, it helps to hold the hair root end out, because the way hair grows, it's just more likely to catch it that way. So here we go, hanging hair test. There we go, popped right off. Get you another view of that. So that's just chopping that hair nicely. So there you go. If you don't have any hair to use, I got a brush full of it. You can always use boar's hair or badger hair from a shaving brush. So there you go. There's some simple tests you can use. Hope they help.